Hey guys, it's Janet over here. How are you? My name is Janet Soriano and I create WordPress websites and I'm a WordPress expert and strategist for online entrepreneurs. And today I am hopping in here to talk to you about 8 common mistakes entrepreneurs make on their website and when they're starting out and how you can avoid them. Thank you so much for joining. If you're watching the replay, say hi. Um, the reason that I decided to talk about these 8 mistakes was because sometimes you're creating a website and you don't know what are the things that are going to be effective, what are the things that are not going to be effective, or the things that may not be working or not working in your business for that same reason. So let's get right into it. And the first mistake is that you're not telling your ideal client what you do on how you can help them right from your homepage. So this might be that you're not clear on what your message is, you're not clear on who your ideal client is, and you're not clear on what is it the exact problem that you solve for them. This means that they have to do a lot of digging to find out what your website is about or what your service is about, meaning that they have to really dig deep into your content, into what you are trying to give value on, and that often leads your visitors to just click the exit window on your website and not consume your content and not continue on your website. So remember, you have 3 seconds to actually attract your ideal client on your website. And if you cannot convey your message in a way that is very clear, concise, and quickly, then you're gonna lose that ideal client's attention, and they're just gonna opt out and just not even pay attention to who you are. And most of the businesses online are not getting seen because they're not specifically talking to their ideal client. And this means that you may be still in the mind shift that your website is not specific to one person, meaning you're not talking to this ideal client, and it's very vague, it's very confusing, things are not clear for your ideal clients. You may be talking about one topic and then talking about the other, and it's not really clear what your message is. And mistake number 2 is that you may have flashy arrows and highlighted text all over your website. And this may lead your ideal clients to close the window because they see your website as spammy or as not trustful. So what you want to do is eliminate that. Eliminate the highlights, eliminate the flashy arrows or the question marks, or not the question marks, the exclamation marks. Because you want people to be able to go to a site that is clean and the user experience is very robust and clean and slick, right? So the more white space that you leave on your website, the better it is for people to understand, go through your content, and actually get the value that they need, instead of click here and a million calls to actions and a million things to do, and it's very vague. We all have seen those websites, and trust me, they are not effective. Mistake number 3 is you don't have calls to actions, and people want direction. People want to be directed as what to do next when they go on your website. So what you want to do is you want people to actually book a service. You want people to subscribe to your email list. So that's what you got to do. You got to tell them what to do. Don't expect them to navigate your website and exactly know what to do next. You got to guide them through the experience of coming into your community, coming into your world, and actually telling them what to do, right? Mistake number 4 is that you're not promoting your social media. You're promoting your social media on your website. So one of the mistakes that you may do is that you may add a social feed on your website. This is a no-no because you're leading people to go from your website, traffic that's coming into your website, you're leading them to go back into the social media world of Facebook and Instagram and leaving your site. So you're actually doing the opposite of what you want people to do on your website. You want people to stay more on your website, consume more of your content, get value from you so they can know, trust, and like you so they can be able to buy your products and services, right? So if you have social media feeds on your website that leads people to just leave your website, then you're just like doing a disservice to yourself. So instead of adding social feeds on your website, what you want to do is add social sharing buttons. It's very different for people to share your actual website on social media sites. Just click the link, share my website, and go about to continue consuming my content, right? That's what you want people to do on your website. You don't want people to go to your social media profile, get distracted by all the things in social media, and just leave your website, not even subscribing to your email list or buying any of your products and services. Meanwhile, you're just like, instead of driving traffic to your website, you're leaving traffic off the table. So you're basically leaving money on the table. Okay? So mistake number 5, if you don't know who your customer is and you're talking very vague, your copy is not clear enough for people to understand who is it that you're speaking to, what kind of ideal customer you're speaking to, and what elements of your service is for that specific ideal client, because not everyone or everybody will buy your products and services. It's about knowing who your ideal client is, speaking to them in a way that is clear, precise, and very intentional, and niching down to what is the market that you want to serve. Who are the people that you want to serve? Who's the ideal fan that's going to say yes to your service and that's going to say yes to subscribing to your email list and so forth. So I want you to relieve yourself a headache of if you're not seeing people book any of your services online or to take any action, if you're seeing that people are coming to your website and they're leaving right away, go back to your messaging, back to who your ideal client is. Really niche down to what are the psychological and emotional aspects of them wanting to work with you. So let's say you are a service-based provider who provides like online coaching for them, and they're maybe stuck in some area of their life, or maybe you want to talk to them on an emotional level. So that's basically like the whole main concept of understanding who your ideal client is. You want to understand their actual thoughts and their feelings and their fears around what the problem that they're having. Be able to portray that message on your website so you can be able to connect with them on an emotional level, so they can be able to know, oh yes, she gets me, she understands me, and she has exactly what I need for me to get into the next level of what I need, or maybe for me to get unstuck on what I am stuck right now, or this product can actually be of service to me because I need it right now, because she understands who I am, she understands what my needs are, and she understands that the product that she created is exactly for me, right? So that's what we want to create, and that's the actual selling point of people buying and converting into a client. Okay, and mistake number 6 is that you're changing your logos, your fonts, your colors, and the layouts of your website every so often, right? Every week or every 2 months, so your actual brand is not consistent. It's not consistent to what your brand stands for, right? So you're on the go every time you're changing. Every time you have a new idea, you're changing your logo, you're changing your fonts, you're changing your colors, and it's just not being consistent. meaning that you're not going to create that trust with someone who's on your list or someone who's visiting your website, because every time they go back to your website, it's a different thing, right? So you want to create consistency, even if it's like, even if you're just starting out and you yet don't know what your website is about. You gotta understand when you need to just let it be, let it rest for a minute, get clients in the door, and then your website actually becomes an evolution of what you have already created, right? So get a website up and running right now. Work with what you have. Tweak the message if you feel like the services are not being, like your message is not going through, people are not taking action on your website. Tweak more of your message and just leave the fonts and the logo and what you have consistent as of right now. Later on throughout, as you work and your business grows, then you can change your fonts and your layouts, but you don't change it every 2 or 3 weeks. You're gonna change it maybe in 6 months or in a year, right? So just be consistent with your brand, with your marketing that you have right now, and understand that what you have right now and 6 months from now, it's gonna be different because you're gonna be a different person. Your business is gonna evolve. You're gonna have a better understanding of who your ideal client is, and you're gonna be able to actually make that effort, right? Okay, and then mistake number 7 is you don't ask for the email on your website. Meaning you're writing content, you're writing blogs, and you're giving all this value for free, but you're not asking for the email. Meaning that people are coming to your website, they're not subscribing to your email list, therefore they're not creating a relationship with you. You're not constantly talking to them or communicating to them what your value that you can give, because sometimes, let's put it like this, sometimes we don't buy from you when we first see your website. We don't buy from you from the first time that we land on your website and see your service. Sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we want to know more about you. Sometimes we want to get more value from you before we actually decide, okay, this is a service that I can be able to, that I need for myself, an investment for myself that's going to help you move forward, right? So you want to be able to portray that information, portray that message to them, and tell them that, create that relationship with them before they even buy from you. And ask you for that email in exchange for maybe a free resource, for that you can later be able to create that relationship. That is what's going to long-term make your business long-term, instead of thinking that people are going to come to your website, strictly buy from you right away, and expect them to know and trust you when they haven't seen much of you just yet, right? So ask for the email on your website. And the last mistake that you're doing is that you don't know the stages of your ideal client. So you may have a service, and this service can either be broken down into stages where your ideal client may be, right? So let's say your ideal client is a woman business owner who needs coaching to move her business forward, right? And her immediate problem right now is that she wants to start getting her first few clients, maybe her very first client, right? And now you have a service where you are providing a mastermind or a high-end coaching. This ideal customer does not need that high-end service because she's not there yet. She's just starting out. But if your ideal clients if you were to break down your services into 3 pieces, and understand that there's a beginner stage, an intermediate stage, and an advanced stage where your client may be going at, then you can be able to guide your ideal client through those stages for them to work with you, instead of just creating one big high-end product and you see that people are not converting because that's not really what your ideal client needs in this moment. Of course, if that's who your ideal client is, a high-end person who already has been in business 5 to 10 years and needs the high mastermind level, then of course you're gonna convert that ideal client. But if that's not what your client needs, they're not gonna convert. So you really gotta understand where your client is at this stage. That's why you really have to understand who they are. Okay? All right, so those are the basic 8 common mistakes that you may be creating on your website. And to avoid them, just do as I said. Let me just recap on the things that I said. Mistake number 1 is that you're not telling who your ideal client. You're not telling your ideal client who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Number 2 is that you have flashy arrows, a lot of calls to actions that are not directed in the right places. Number 3 is that you don't have any calls to actions at all, or you're not telling people what to do next, right? Mistake number 4 is that you're promoting your social media feeds on your website, meaning you're leading traffic out of your website. Mistake number 5 is that you don't know who you're talking to, meaning the copy that you have on your website is very vague, it's not clear, and it's not speaking to your ideal client. And mistake number 6 is that you're changing the logos, the fonts, and the colors of your website on a constant basis, which you're creating inconsistency with your brand, and people are getting lost, right? Because every time they come to your website, they find the new person, not a new person, a new brand, new colors, so they get confused as what your actually brand stands for. And mistake number 7, you're not asking for the email. You're not creating that relationship with them. You're not providing that value that makes them trust you or like you for them to buy from you. And then mistake number 8 is that you're not talking to their ideal stages. So you're creating a product or services that may not be ideal for what the stage your ideal client is at right now. All right, so if you have any questions about any of these mistakes or things that you want to talk about, tell me in the comments. If you're watching the replay, let me know. I'm gonna be hanging out here for a few more hours, and I hope you have a great day. Oh, by the way, I am having a live masterclass July 25th, and I would like for you to join me on this live masterclass where I'm gonna take you from starting your website from start to finish in order for you to create a goal, create a message, know who your ideal client is, and really understand the strategy behind a website that converts. Right, so I'm gonna leave the link below, and thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching the replay, hit like, share it, let me know what you think about it, and thank you so much. Bye.